It's breakfast o'clock in the morning. Maybe. Not totally sure what's happening with the old live streameream. We'll do the best we can. Try to get the old web page to load and show the things that we'd like it to show. Nope, ain't gonna happen. All right, let's start some coffee up. I already got the coffee machine filled with ye old coffee beans. Oh, sorry. Over torqued that by about 10,000 extra pounds. That's fine. That just means the top of that thing looking dusty. Jeez. Talk to the maid. Get that sorted out. Here we go. Well, last week I made the breakfast pizza, which turned into a breakfast casserole. And what I learned is that was so delicious that I'm not capable of just having a couple pieces of that. Whatever. Good times, good times. Here we go. Well, is everybody getting plenty of news? Y'all watching the news? You get enough of the news? Oh man, can you believe it? Fill in the blank. Can you believe it? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Who's this brought to you by? Oh, maybe I didn't. I might not have put advertising up on this. Unfortunately, it says live, but I don't know what's going on here. Oh, it is live. That's why. Here we are. Finally got it sorted out. Can you believe that happened? Can you believe this? Did you see this with your own eyes? Let me show you what you saw with your own eyes. Cook some bacon. Yeah, I don't know. It's getting pretty wild out there. I don't like to tell anybody how to do anything in life, but I do have advice for people. We can start with this. In life, if you're ever in a position where you need to ask a huge favor of somebody, depending on how important the favor is, you can always consider not calling them a bitch, no matter what they say to you. And depending on how big the favor is. I know this is cliche because people are losing their minds over should you wear a suit to the White House to beg for billions of dollars. I'm going to go with my philosophy in life is when you got a big ask, you always dress up for the part. But, you know, that's just me. Do what you want. The only people that get mad at someone for dressing up are people who, well, I don't know if lowbrow is a term, but like for people who don't have the ability to dress up are the only people who ever get mad at people who dress up. By mad, I mean comment on why are you so dressed up. It's usually because they're not dressed up. Anyways, a little life advice for you. Whatever. There's a lot of angry people on the internet. I guess if I was in the airline business, I'd start selling tickets directly to Ukraine for all these people that are so bad. They just fly there and take care of it themselves. I think that should be the new philosophy that the whole world runs by. You should support what you support by supporting it. Just write your own checks, show up with your own shoes on, and you just do it yourself. That's how the world needs to start working. If you want to have all these special, like I think I said a word on one of my streams a couple weeks ago, got in trouble. Like all the stuff that's in the news, and if you're watching it and you're mad, you should just start doing it. Like if you want to perform special performances overseas to push ideology, get in a plane, fly overseas, and you just do it there. Just show up. Be a volunteer. There you go. Problem solved. But then you don't have to be so fucking bitchy and outraged online anymore. You know, if you don't think there's enough tax dollars going to any cause, then you should just give more money. Like at the end of the year, you could give more. You don't have to. You don't have to pay the minimum. Like if you think we need to spend more money overseas and wars, you should go overseas and spend your money. I think that'd be noble of you. There you go. Problem solved. All the problems in the world could be solved if people would just stop bitching about it and just show up and do the work. That's my new philosophy. How's that sound? It just feels like everyone's on a computer now. Just this is important to me. This is so much. All right, bro. It's like 900% bacon fat, but that's fine. Eating too much bacon fat doesn't take away from your early years of life. It only takes away from those fucking terrible years at the end. Probably gonna have plenty of those. Don't worry. I got 4 pieces there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to get like another piece or 2 cooked in here. Otherwise, it isn't all gonna fit. Try that. I mean, I don't know. Everything's blowing my mind now. Everything blows my mind. Everything's amazing. Everything's hard to believe. I just watched a video. It just came up. It was kind of like some life advice about not like. Basically, it was a dude who's kind of like don't waste the precious time you have on Earth doing stupid shit you don't enjoy doing because life is short. And it's like pretty good philosophy. But then he started talking, and it was like, what? And like, it just makes me realize that like there's a huge disconnect in reality everywhere. Because this dude was saying, if you can get some shit together, get a business, hire some employees, have them do all the work for you, you can work a couple hours a week, and you could just live the good life. I'm thinking, man, fuck, sign me up for that. I've never met anybody who pulled that one off. A couple hours a week and just rake in fat stacks. Like, I bet. Yeah, okay. It's like, is that what people think? Like, I get it. I mean, I'm definitely on board with the philosophy of like, don't fucking waste your life. You're not guaranteed to get a second one. I mean, I don't know for sure, but definitely don't focus on doing some horrible shit you hate to do for most of your fucking time on planet Earth because whatever. It's just, oh man, good luck to everybody. I've been reading a lot of history books, man. And the old history books, I don't think the new history is going to be any different than the old history. I think it's all the same history. Anyone else do that way? Anyone else read history books? There's something I learned the other day that like I never really wrapped my head around. It's the concept that like they had the big die-off over in Europe in the good old days, the Black Death or whatever. Back then, it was kind of like you were either running the show or you worked for the dude running the show. You know, it was super duper ultra wealthy, powerful kings and their henchmen, and then it was like all the regular people, right? Well, after all those people died, they had a little bit of a problem over in Europe. It's called a labor shortage. There was not a lot of people to do the work. And during that time was one of the biggest shifts in wealth that's ever been experienced on the planet Earth. Because the people who had all the wealth didn't have unlimited fucking workers just to do what they needed to have done, and the workers kind of had what were called options. You know, the local land baron was like, well, I need someone to, I don't know, pick whatever it is that you need to have done. Dig a trench for me, and the local trench digger could be like, no, I'm good, because like I got 25 people that need a trench dug, and the guy's like, well, I'll pay you more, and he's like, well, you're gonna have to pay me a lot more, and wages went way up, and super poor people that were living in the dirt actually started pulling themselves out of the dirt a little bit. I'd never heard that before. Pretty crazy shit. Pretty crazy. I think one of the things I've heard it all before, but like, I think that we're suffering from it, and I think we need to like learn from the past. Back in the old days, actors and sex workers, I guess is what you'd call them nowadays, were about on the same level as far as what was an acceptable career in life, and it's how serious you should be taken when you, I don't know, have an opinion. Not saying you can't have an opinion as a sex worker or an actor, but just how much people should take it, take it all in. I can only assume that's because why do people listen to an actor? I've never understood that. Why would I listen to an actor tell me anything other than how to act? You're an actor. Like, go entertain me. Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. But I'm an actor. I act in a movie. I am a very serious person. I mean, whatever. I'm sure it's all going to work out. I will say I would not want to be a person from the country of Ukraine or living in Ukraine, because I don't think that's going to work out very good over there. I don't know what to say about all that. It's none of my business. I know people are very passionate about it. The only two of the people that are passionate about it are the ones that watch a lot of TV, because the TV tells them to be passionate about it. I've had conversations in the past on this topic. And one of the things I like to ask people is, well, what other conflicts are happening right now on the planet Earth that you're very passionate about? And I usually get like a glazed look in the eye, and they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Well, what other conflicts are you so passionate about that are happening?" And it's like, are you even aware of the other conflicts that are happening on the planet Earth as we have a conversation? Well, because the television hasn't told them about these conflicts, they're unaware of these conflicts. Let's do a little Google. Most people would say right now there's 2 wars going. Here we go. As of June 24th, there are 56 conflicts going on the planet Earth. The most since World War II. There you go. So, but there's 2. One for sure that you got to get real fucking worked up over. There's 50, what did I say, 50? 56 conflicts happening right now on planet Earth. Which one are you getting the most worked up over? Which one do you want to go work a fucking job for however many hours that you work and how many days a week you work so you can be taxed and have your money? Which ones do you want to send your tax dollars to? I'm just curious, asking for a friend. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, since I'm eating eggs for breakfast, how about we figure out a way to like get the egg laying chicken population back up, since we had to kill so many fucking chickens off for fucking flu reasons, which I understand for safety, but like we're gonna need some more chickens here pretty quick. Strategic chicken reserve or something. Come on now. Whatever. Life ain't easy when you're living in a conflict zone. Now I realize that a conflict's not a war, so let's see if we can find how many actually. I mean, are well. This says there's 110 armed conflicts. Let's see here. Criteria. No, let's do 2025. Let's be very specific. 2025. That's a year. That's the year that we're living in. Well, the first thing that comes up, there's at least 10 you should keep your eye. You should watch 10 conflicts to watch. Okay. Which countries are at war? Are you ready? There's a Russian-Ukrainian war that we're aware of. There's a Israeli-Hamas war that you're aware of. There's a Syrian civil war that you may not be aware of. There's a Sudan civil war. There's a West Africa war. There's an East Africa war. There's a Mayan civil war. There's a Taiwanese and a South China Sea. More items, please. Don't even know how credible this, well, I'm checking my shit there. I'm not interested in any of that. So it's just like, try to keep in mind that, like, I guess what I'd say is, in light of the latest information about all the goddamn crazy shit that's coming out of the unelected bureaucratic spending, I can only assume that the two major conflicts that you are currently hearing the most about are the two major conflicts that is the easiest for someone to, I don't know, graft money off of. Which is a word I just recently learned about. Did you guys know that? Grafting, as opposed to grifting. You know the difference? So I watched the Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and I heard Elon use the word graft. And in my mind, it's like, well, that's not, it's called grifting. Don't be a grifter, motherfucker. Then I thought, well, wait a second. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I should maybe look into this before I armchair quarterback Elon Musk's use of language. So a grifter, someone who's like trying to make money off somebody illicitly, right? But a grafter is a person who does it through like government, which I didn't even fucking know was a thing. Here, we'll have more learning with Elveshelves. GRIFT versus GRAFT. Go. Grifters refer to obtaining money or property illicitly, often through con games or swindles, while graft involves using one's position of power or personal gain, typically in a political context. Both terms relate to corruption, but grift is more about deception, where graft is about exploiting authority. Oh my god, dude. I've been alive for a long time. Never knew that. Did the public school system fail me that I didn't know there was a difference between grift and graft? I mean, I thought graft is what you did to an apple tree when you wanted to grow more apples. Or what you did to your skin when you fucked around with gasoline too much and light yourself on fire. You got a graft. All right. Welcome to the Let's Learn Some New Shit channel. I didn't know any of that. It's blowing my mind. Consider my mind blown. You're blowing my mind. I'm going to attempt to cook some hash browns over here. I don't know how that's going to work. I also got some of these sourdough muffins I don't know too much about. They're made of dough, but they're supposed to be sour. Let's give it a try. And I got we're going to use the rings today. We're going to make egg rings. We're going to make 2 sandwiches. We're going to ration our expensive eggs down to 2. We run out of forks for some reason. Let me run the dishwasher. Getting low on forks. Oh, these are pretty well split. I don't even really know if I'm filming myself here. Here we go. Yeah. Whatever. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Nicely done. Toaster is currently off screen and needs a little, I need to do a little work on my toaster. My toaster needs some lubrication on one of its parts because it is catching. And I've had to do it once before. I just need to find time to do it. The other day it caught and turned my English muffin into a one alarm fire, and my fire alarm went off. It's like, oh, sounds like the toast is done. It is good to know that your fire suppression equipment works when it needs to be. Well, while we're waiting, we'll eat a bacon. It's not that good for you, but it tastes good. Oh well. I'm trying to think of the crazy shit that happened this week. Oh God. I haven't told a traffic story in a while. Hopefully, I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm allergic to the internet. I was driving down the road. I saw this you know how they make Jeeps now that aren't really Jeeps. I mean, they're made by Jeep, but they're just the most consumer grade transportation. Like they're not off road anything. It's just like a little box. I saw this Jeep in front of me. I'm just driving. I'm not paying. I'm listening to my book on tape, just enjoying my life. And there's a swerve in the road or curve in the road, and this Jeep in front of me tries to just make a lane change. It's all over the place, completely out of control. I'm like, what the hell is happening? So my first instinct was look at the wheels, what's happening? Because that's what connects the vehicle to the road. I looked at the left wheel first, and the left wheel is doing this, it's about to fall off. I'm like, my God, the guy's wheel's gonna fall off. It's crazy. And after I don't know, a couple seconds, I realized the other one's doing it. So both back tires are, instead of this, they're like this, right? I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then we get to the light changes, he goes around the corner, he's losing control again. I don't know how much weight this guy had in this thing. It was so overloaded, it was so crazily out of control. Couldn't even barely go straight down the road. And I'm thinking, this guy's about to get on the highway where it's 65 miles an hour. I'm going to get the hell away from this dude before I get involved in whatever he's about to fucking wreck out, kill a bunch of people for just absolute low IQ reasons. I'm just, oopsie, drum roll please. That's the sound of my toaster not popping up. I gotta work on that. We're going to try to remove some of this detritus from the surface here. Get it cleaned up real nice and pretty. Plenty of renderings on that one there, kids. Let's do the old 180 on this joint, which is going to make probably a smoky mess because there's bacon fat everywhere, but that's fine. I don't mind. Yep, that's going to be a bit of a disaster right across the burner. No big deal. I say she's full. A little heat to the back. We're going to cook our frozen hash browns back on the back of this joint. I will admit I've never done this before. I never cooked hash browns on this flat skillet with a frozen bag of hash browns. This is some leftovers from last week. I assume it can only go absolutely goddamn perfect. I probably should have put a little lubrication down first. Put some lube down. Just lube it. Get the lube dispenser out. The floor slopes to the back of the stove, so through gravity, we should be able to salvage some of these leapers. It's going to be a little chaotic. It's not going to be recommended. Think of the children at all times. Always think of the children. So yeah, good luck. Oh man, I don't want to be too greedy on the old hash brown placement there, but I love me some hash browns. I thought about getting a second pan out, but like, you know what happens when you get a second pan out? That means you have to do a second something later. You know it's a serious chef when he puts his hand in the cooking spot. Yeah, this is going to be nightmare sauce. Keeping this corralled. It's going to be fine. This is going to be fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. All right. Sorry, I was really concentrating there, trying to get that settled out. Let's figure out how this is going to work. I've used this before, but I haven't used them in a long time. These are egg rings with lifters. We're gonna lube the surface slightly. They're made of silicone. I know a guy who's got some custom-made stainless steel ones. Pretty cool. Here we go. I'll talk about this again. Hen house, free-range, organic, non-GMO, no antibiotics, raised on small family farms, processed with solar energy, grade A. Can you believe that? These are compliant in California. They're compliant. Oh God! Did you think you'd ever be alive long enough to see eggs that had a compliancy in a state that's ran by people who shouldn't be running a goddamn recycling service? So far, so good. We have achieved containment. We will delicately do the potato dance while our egg remains in its confines. Oh, we had a leaper. A little extra lube on that one. I don't know if I have enough heat to get these potatoes to the condition that I want them to be in. How's that looking? Looks like it needs a little pepper. I feel like salt's not required when cooking with bacon grease. Don't ask me why. English muffin toasting is medium to fair to middling. I don't even know what that means. I should probably Google that. It's fair to middling. In fact, I want cheese on this somehow. I kind of forgot I had some cheese here. It's gonna be shredded cheese, but you know, sometimes in life when you have cheese, it's shredded. We're gonna give the old egg a oh yeah! We're gonna give it a flip. Loosen up the edges. Get them edges loose. And a quick flip once over like a professional, like you know what you're doing. Let's put the cheese down first. That way it doesn't get as completely out of control. And then we're going to put the medium cooked egg over once. also known as easy over easy. Actually, that's not technically an over easy. I learned that when I was a child. I went to Vegas and we went to a buffet where they had unlimited eggs. Man, think of that. Unlimited eggs. There it is. Cheese on the bottom. A little Renegade. It's probably not going to be a thing you're going to want to watch me eat, but... Oh, it exploded. I guess what I think about it. Maybe it was the sunny side up I learned about. Maybe it was sunny side up. I ordered a sunny side up egg, which is just like an egg that's not been cooked on the yolk. And I was like, wait a second, what is this? The guy's like, sunny side up. And I was like, oh, then I don't want that. Can you flip it over once? And he was like, over easy? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And he like flipped it over, and then it was still super runny. And I just said to myself, I think I'm going to start enjoying runny eggs. It's easier. People don't get as confused. I thought I wrote some stuff down for this week. Oh yeah, man. Did you see where the illustrious truth teller from MSNBC got de-jobbed? Joy Reid got de-jobbed from the truth-telling organization of MSNBC. Which it wasn't even like the craziest part of it. The craziest part of it was after she got unjobbed, her colleague from the great illustrious truth-telling organization known as MSNBC came out and basically called the people that run MSNBC a bunch of racists, an indefensible bunch of racists. Which is a pretty bold move, to be totally honest with you. That was Rachel Maddow from the truth-telling television service known as MSNBC, Arbiters of Truth. She must have a pretty good contract. I don't think she got fired. But make no mistake, the network noticed, and I heard what they did is they fired all her staff. The people she's come to love as family, they all got de-jobbed. Because Rachel Maddow must have such a good contract that she can call her parent company a bunch of indefensible racists and not get fired. But all her staff, I think, got fired. Kind of a tough one. Oops. Do you guys remember the shtick a couple years ago when they were having disputes about people having jobs and labor and all this, and some super know-it-all said if you live in the part of the country where they mine coal, after you shut your coal mine down, you're just going to have to learn to code. Learn to write code if you're a coal miner. As if that was any sort of a sentence that you could say in English out loud that makes any goddamn sense at all. Well, there's a new version of that. It's for all the people that work at the truth-telling agencies that lost their job. It's called Learn to Pick Strawberries. See how that works? Because we don't have enough people picking strawberries right now. If you work for the news agencies, you get fired, you got to learn to pick strawberries. See, haha, isn't that funny? Learn to pick vegetables, bro. I mean, that's the Same exact amount of insanity that learn to code. And like, I learn to code, bro. I'm like, okay, well, learn to code. Not everyone wants to live in a utopian hellscape known as a big city. Well, there is something magical about a big city. Apparently, if you live around enough people, you get to become a handicapped in the intellectual capacity too. If you live with enough of those kind of people, apparently. Just up until something happens, like your house burns down, and you decide, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." Problem is, they take those same ideas with them. They try to move to the part of the country that doesn't suck to live in, and they try to employ those stupid ideas there. Oh wait, hold on. No, full deck here. What happened to? Oh, I forgot to type in. This is still more than one way to play. I'll tell you the truth. I was going to turn it into just the me talking stream. I did that for a couple weeks. The problem I was having was I still cook breakfast on Sunday. So after cooking breakfast and then doing an hour stream, I felt like a bunch of my day was missing. So I was like, I'm just going to go back to cooking breakfast because I'm doing it anyways. And I don't know if anyone wants to look at my ugly mug for an hour straight. This is still more than one way to play. I just forgot to type this morning. I kind of slept in a little bit. I was woken up by the sound of children screaming out front. I have neighbors now with children who like to scream in their front yard on Sunday morning, which is fun. But I guess if they hadn't been screaming, I really would have slept. Yeah, you don't have the cards, buddy. So when I watch my YouTube videos now, I get some video. You should watch this prompts of some dummy playing with. Let's see, some dummy playing with toy cars. These little Matchbox cars. You know anything about that? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on there. Matchbox? Why aren't you doing Hot Wheels? Sounds like a dork. Hot Wheels, bro. That's where it's at. I mean, without me saying this, I assume that you just obviously know this, that I have a Hot Wheels collection. And it's a pretty good one, too. Some of them are quite valuable. I looked one up like a couple years ago. I've got one of them super vintage Hot Wheels 18-wheelers that are about that long with the steering wheel on the back. Those are worth like, I don't know, $100 now or some shit. $60, $50 depending on condition. Of course, all my shit's in pretty good condition. We went through I got a couple brothers. We went through all our Hot Wheels a few years ago and divided them up, thirdsies. So I got a third of a collection of a basically 80s premium Hot Wheels collection. I got some of the gold ones and all that crazy shit. Oh, you did not know that? Well, I have everything, so I figured you just assumed that I had that. Yeah, I got some crazy shit. I mean, they're not. The 18-wheeler's pretty pristine because it was so cool that I didn't want to break it. That was probably like early 80s. I got that. All the other ones we used to beat the shit out of because we have the tracks too for like racing and shit. And we got some I think I've got a gas station that was rubber band driven that you go through and you cock it and you hit the button and it would eject it out the gas station. I got that around here someplace. Oh yeah. And then not only Hot Wheels, which are like 1/64 scale or some shit. I have a semi-collection of the big die casts, the ones that are like the size of a shoe. I got a bunch of those. They're in storage. Technically not all mine, but they've been in storage so long that I would have to do a whole lot to get those to be all mine. Those are pretty cool. Like the doors open on that shit, for like Ferraris and Corvettes. And there was like a while back in the 80s that we would all get one of those for Christmas every year. A big die cast, like the size of a tennis shoe, or a little bigger, like a foot long. What we got here? Probably 1/18. The big ones? Yeah, I don't know. They were in my dad's office for a long time. Like we'd get them, then he had them on display. They're just really hard to dust. Like right now, they're all just like. I think one day he should. So this is the sad part. I think one day he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm done with this shit." And he just took them and threw them in a box. So like, all these like absolutely pristine, unblemished, never played with, large, high detailed metal cars just got chucked into a box. Like fuck that shit, and just chucked it. Maybe I'll go grab those. You want me to do a video series on that for you? Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels are better than Matchbox. For sure, in case you didn't know that. Hot Wheels. Oh yeah, we used to jump the shit out of our Hot Wheels. It's like the tracks. Remember the tracks? They plug into each other. They had the little plastic tab that slipped in. You like make jumps, just launch them across. Launch them across the basement. That was a lot of fun. Still have all that shit laying around someplace. I mean, the Hot Wheels are usually in the other room. Those are just like 15 feet away from me in a box. Trying to think what else. I didn't have a whole lot of like. I just remember the gas station. The gas station was cool. I still have it. I think it just needs a new rubber band is all it needs. I'm gonna go sandwich here. That's not gonna pop up very good because the English muffin was incorrectly assembled. Excuse me. And my nose is running. Let's see. I have some track pieces. Well, I mean, yeah, track pieces are. They're fun, man. You gotta make jumps. I mean, technically you can make a loop if you whip the thing hard enough. If you want to go down the rabbit hole of fun shit that's scale and small, dude, get into slot cars. That's where the goddamn party's at, is slot cars. And we had a good slot car set when I was a kid. It was the one that had the retractable pin. So slot cars have the brushes that go on the track that make them run, and then it had a pin to hold it, but you could push the button, the pin would retract, and you could change lanes. God, we played the shit out of that, and then it died, and we tried to fix it, and went to the hobby store and everything. Really hard to fix. And then, like, when I was like just still a kid. What would that be like when you're like 12 years old or something? My grandfather, and I'll never forget this, he sent me a slot car set, and goddamn, that thing was fun. It wasn't nearly as nice as our original set of slot car stuff was, but I played the living shit out of that thing. Yeah, slot cars are really fun. I mean, dude, I'll put you all the way down the rabbit hole. Let's see here. Digital versus analog slot cars. Well, it was all. I don't know how it did it. It would all have been analog. It fucked up 1,000 years ago. It was all wired controllers, but somehow you could do something, and I don't know if it would pulse the electric and it would make it like retract or something. I really don't know how it worked. But here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you this, and then you can thank me later. Because I watch your channel and I see all the shit you're doing. What you probably ought to just get it over with and do is you need to get into model trains, bro. Because that's basically what you're leading up to, is model trains. With the details and the remote control and all the shit and the moving, is model trains is what you need to get into. I'm telling you. It's exactly what the hobby that you need is model trains. You take half of that space you're working in downstairs right now, and you build yourself a wooden platform, and you start building your own little world down there. It's your roundhouse and your mountains and your cars and your buildings and your yep. I'm just calling it right now, buddy. That's what you need to start doing. Is model trains. Oh, that toast is done. You thank me later. Christ, I might be able to work you a deal and get you a platform because there's some people I know that's got a platform in their basement. They're gonna have to get that thing out of there pretty quick, and the guy who technically owns it, he won't take it out. I might be able to get you one. Shit, get you all the stuff too. Actually, I can't do that. It's not mine. I'm a liar. Liar! Because you get to drive the train, which is like RC cars, you drive it. And then you can put actuators and shit, so you can switch the tracks, which, oh, yep, that English muffin's done. Ah, quiet! Stop beeping so loud. There we go, I'm back. You get the roundhouse that spins, it's all moving parts, lots of, well, actually I haven't looked at it in a while, it's probably digital now. Probably do it digitally. Get the digital tools. There was like a really crazy video. I think I talked about it once before. A really crazy video I saw on the interwebs. It was like a dude who was an executive for like Apple, I think. So like he was just rich as shit. Ooh, I forgot to put lube down. That's why that's sticking. This guy was just super rich, but he loved model trains, and he'd filled like 2 storage units with model train stuff. And when he passed away, he was so rich that his family members inherited so much money that they were like, we don't even want to deal with that. Like, we don't even want to go and deal with any of this. Like, we have more money than we can spend in 10 lifetimes. We're not going to go spend time digging through an old storage unit or two for some model train garbage that we don't care about. So this guy that had a storage unit channel bought these storage units, got contacts, like, you want to buy these? He's like, I guess, sight unseen, bought them. And it was like the mother lode of magical train set stuff. It was like, this dude would just go and order stuff. Like he like sit at home and out on the internet and just order all the most premium everything that you could get, have it shipped to his house, then he wouldn't deal with it. He was just into buying. Like, it was more model train stuff than like whole museum would ever even have. And it was so much rare exotic stuff that, like, I think it broke the market for a second when it came to model train stuff. Like, the guy that was doing the channel had to bring an expert in. And the expert's like, yeah, we never even seen one of these before. Like these are like handmade in Germany. Like, what? I mean, they were going through, like, they put cars and stuff in the model train setups to make it look realistic. But these are like, I never heard of this shit before, but like, they're super high-end die-cast cars. Like, not Matchbox or Hot Wheels, because that'd be considered like a toy. These are like replicas. So it's like super, super realism shit. It was wild, man. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars for shit. All right, here we go. There we go. How'd it do? Not too bad. Prepare for the yoking. Let the yoking begin! Oh man. So I had a major breakthrough on the old Honda Talon build the other day. I managed to sort out how to get my light whips hooked to my turn signals. Oh yeah! That shit's crazy. So I do my turn signals now. My light whips flash in amber the direction that I'm turning. I didn't do the brake lights though because I just didn't want to deal with that shit. I mean, I can still do it. Finally got it buttoned up enough that I can fucking drive the goddamn thing. It's been torn apart forever. Took it out yesterday. It was like, it doesn't look too muddy. Went up top. Nope, that's really muddy. Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Just muddy enough to like completely clog the tires up. And then when I came down the hill, just muddy enough that the completely clogged tires just filled with gravel. So then I just had like a medieval gravel chucking fucking siege weapon. That was pretty wild for a second there. It's kind of bumming me out. Like, I got contacted by some companies to send me some shit, and like, some of the shit showed up, but like, there's still like 2 things that haven't been sent yet. And I'm like, who's like, they won't answer my emails. I don't know what's going on. I got contacted by a RC battery company recently. They want to send me lipos and a charger. And I responded, yeah. They said, well, give me your address, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, yeah, could you just send me ones that like I can hook to my cars? Because they wanted to send like the purple plugs. I don't have the purple plugs. I was just like, I'll review your stuff, but it's more useful for me if it plugs in on my own. And then someone's supposed to be sending me a trash bag for my UTV. One of the ones that hangs off the back. Or the front or whatever. I was pretty excited about that. I said, ooh, a trash bag. That's an accessory I had not acquired yet. Oh well. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Excuse me. I really don't have a runny nose 99% of the time. I really don't understand why when I cook breakfast in this room and on Sunday my nose runs so bad. It must be the LED lights or something. Unless I'm allergic to bacon. Would bacon make my nose run? That doesn't look like a thing. It doesn't seem like a logical answer. Alright, what else was going on? I wrote some more shit down. What else did I read? Oh, the gold card for immigration. Jesus. Well, that's a tough one, kids. That's a tough one. $5 million. That doesn't get you citizenship. It gets you a green card. So here's where I'm torn. Who's going to pick the strawberries? I haven't heard too much of that one because all the people that are so in love with having foreigners come to our country, especially the ones that they love it when they come through undocumented and so they can pick our strawberries. I don't know how they're going to react because is a foreigner who can float $5 million a good one or a bad one? I'm not sure how it works. We really haven't gone that deep in the whole undocumented foreign worker situation. Or I guess I shouldn't say undocumented. The foreigner situation. As an internet culture, are we for or against wealthy foreign immigrants. Is that good or bad? I can't remember. Somehow I can only assume it's going to be a bad thing on the television. I'm sure the television will explain to me later how that's a bad thing. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not a foreign individual policy expert, but I guess my position will probably be, if you're going to have people coming in from foreign countries, and it appears there's not a whole lot we can do to stop that shit, I'd probably rather have the ones that have $5 million to blow than the ones that don't. Although, that could probably be a thing that ends up being a bad thing. I could see it. I mean, what happens? Let's play the devil's advocate. What if a bunch of people that want to come over here and spread their philosophies in life? What if one of them finds some golden tablets and starts a church? What would we do then? Maybe that's what we need to annex Canada for, so we could send the... Yeah, whatever. What's this? I'm at the golf course. Well, hell yeah. 4. Are you working? Don't get fired. Don't get fired watching my stream. You can watch it again later when you're off the clock. God, I know a dude, like, sometimes I feel bad talking about people I know, but I know a dude who, like, from the little bit that I've associated with the fella, seems to have his shit together. He works in what I would call information technologies on computers. He is a salaried employee, and he had to pick up a job working at a golf course on Saturdays. I really didn't get into, you know, the nitty gritty of why he's doing that. I assume it's because shit's expensive, but I mean, he's got a family and kids, so that's a lot more. Or maybe one of his kids is trying to do something, you know, wants to play hockey or something. I have no idea. But man, I think about getting a job at a golf course. It's not fun. Here we go. Yeah, I got a winter cap on. I turned the heat off a couple days ago. We're sitting at 61 in here right now. It's 34. It's supposed to be the 50s. I might wash my car today. You need to do that. Got some other stuff I gotta do. You're at work. These calls can deal with it. Oh my god! Don't get fired watching my stream. Holy shit! I don't get out into the. I don't go out in the wild very much anymore. If you know what I mean. I went out in the wild yesterday, and every time I go out in the wild, when I say the wild, I mean like where a bunch of regular people are hanging out. It ain't like, oh God, I don't even know what it used to be, but I can't describe how it used to be. But it isn't like it used to be. It's just like It's just people are everywhere. They're all everywhere, and they're all doing things. And they're all in their own little world, and they're not paying attention to anything. It's like, hey! Looking at my shit. I mean, I'm not as ignorant to think that just because you don't look the way I look that you're a bad person, but like, I just think everyone's just an asshole now. They don't, like, if you're new to living life, a little piece of advice for you. When you're in public and you have a shopping cart, just assume that someone's going to either want to go past you at some point or go around you when you stop to fucking fuck off and do whatever you're doing. Don't do it diagonally, blocking everybody. I was stuck behind these two ladies. I just want to go around the corner. Like, but I couldn't go around the corner because she didn't just stop. She stopped diagonally, but like the aisle's going this way with an aisle going that way. She went out into the aisle, blocked cross traffic, then turned the thing this way. So like, it was like she was doing a pit maneuver to stop traffic. It's like, and they were talking about peanut fucking butter. There was a peanut butter end cap. They were deciding which peanut butter to buy. And I just couldn't get, I'm just like, I just want to go around the corner, but like, car hunting in retail stores is about as well. Oh, for your, yeah, good luck. Just do that shit online, dude. You can buy whatever you want, can't you? Or you, yeah, I don't know. I'll just try to go around the goddamn corner. Now, I'm not saying because this woman was obese, and I'm not saying it's because she spoke Spanish and she was a bad person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she might have just been a piece of shit who was unaware of anyone else around her but her and her obese Spanish-speaking friend talking about goddamn peanut butter. Because typically those aisles are big enough for 3 fucking carts to go, but like between her standing and her friend standing, everybody blocked. It's just like, you can't be that unaware. You cannot be. It should be physically impossible for a human being who can breathe air and see sights and hear things to be that self-unaware. I mean, if you're buying like a Bugatti Veyron, that's how I expect you to act. Not buying peanut butter in a 2-pack at a fucking discount buyers club store. Like, come on. Like, oh, I can afford a membership. I'm going to block the aisle. It's like, oh, really? To have a conversation about peanut butter? It's fucking peanut butter, lady. Just buy it. Put it in your cart and go on. Wild. What else did I see there? Someone bought like a 10-foot rug and put it in their fucking cart, and it was driving around like a goddamn medieval jouster. Just a giant rug is hanging out. And then they parked it, and then they abandoned their cart for a little bit, and the fucking thing was blocking a whole aisle. It was a 10-foot rug, like a do not, you shall not pass. Like, what? I'm pretty sure you can just take that thing up to the front and they'll hold it for you. You have to drive out like a psychopath with a 10-foot rug hanging out, and then abandon your cart blocking a whole path. I'll tell you what I did see yesterday that like blew my mind. It was clothing. I have never seen this kind of clothing, but clothing that was made of the absolute cheapest, thinnest material that I have ever seen in my... I didn't even know they could make material that unsubstantial. One of them was like a button-up shirt. It looked like... You ever seen single-ply toilet paper? That was about what it felt like. Single-ply toilet paper. I was like, how do you keep the buttons from just... Like, what is it... Like, how does it work? Like, this... Whatever this is was about 35% thicker. This is just cotton. I never seen that. And then I was like, well, that's weird. Then I looked, there were shorts. And it was like, it almost felt like it was made out of like that blanket you put over yourself when you're having an emergency. It was like emergency blanket material. Like, what is happening? Sorry, I'm going to make some coffee. The stream might go a little longer just because shit's getting wild. Why not auctions? Yeah. I don't do public very well anymore. I don't enjoy it. Not a big fan. I miss the good old days when you had to stay home because it was too dangerous to go outside. Whatever. All right, that's another story. I don't know why, but the old Harbor Freight, man, those boys know how to push my buttons. So they sent me an email. Oh, we're gonna give you a discount just for you. Got to come buy some shit. It's like, oh man, that's a pretty good discount. And it's like, well, and here's another one. If you come out, we'll give you something for free. You're like, oh my god, you're gonna give me a discount and a free thing if I come out and shop at your store? Yeah, something for free and a discounted item. I'm like, well, I'm going out to that side of town anyways. I guess I could stop by. Get a discounted item and a free thing. Jesus Christ. It was free zip ties. Can you ever have enough free zip ties? I actually needed them too. That was the crazy part. So then I spent like an hour walking up down the aisles at Harbor Freight. It's like, what do I need to buy? And it's like, you find something like, well, I could get one of those. And it's like, well, I got me being me. I can't just like get a discount on an item. I got to see, well, is this really a good? Is this a good deal, or is there a regularly occurring better deal price on this item that I can just wait till the regular occurring good deal on the price? And yeah, the one thing I was going to get regularly is on sale for less, so I didn't get it. And then wandering around looking for stupid shit. So finally I was like, well, I'll just get some more shrink tubing. I mean, I can never have enough shrink tubing, plus it's only like $1. It's like, here, get a big discount on something that costs $1. Like, that seemed like a waste of a discount. It was 20% off. They used to do that all the time. They don't do it anymore. Hardly ever. They sent me a me exclusive 20% off coupon. Anyways, so I'm wandering around looking at shit. Just like, God almighty. Do I need any of this crap? And what did I get, you may ask? Because I ended up getting something. What did I get? How about a 5-pound dead blow hammer? Like, what am I going to do with that? Because I looked it up. It was within like 70 cents of as cheap as it's been in a year. And I was like, for 70 cents, I'm here. I'll put it with my hammer collection. Now I have another dead blow hammer for reasons I don't quite understand. So then I came home. I was like, well, where am I going to put this thing? So then I had to go through my hammer drawer and like rearrange my hammer drawer. Had to make some serious decisions about which hammers stay in the hammer drawer. 2 hammers didn't make it. I had to pull 2 hammers out of the hammer drawer. I don't know where they're going, but 2 of them didn't make the cut. They're out. You're out. You didn't make the drawer. Just old wood-handled, regular, like, framing hammers that I would never use in 1,000 years, but I have 2 of them for some fucked up reason. Because I'll move them to a different building, have a spare hammer in a different building. Alright, well. Oh, the news. Oh, can you believe it? This is outrageous! Can you believe it? I am starting to think that the old, I'm starting to think that the pearl clutching. We better see the Hot Wheels collection. Well, I can't show it to you now. It's like in a box in the other room, stacked on a thing and a deal and a thing. I'm starting to think that the powers that be, or the former powers that be, that were pushing the narrative that like catching us stealing tax money is bad. You shouldn't be looking. I think the reality of that's starting to dawn on that doesn't fly with regular people very well. Like, regular people don't like to see people enriching themselves off tax dollars. So the starving children thing, I don't think is playing well, and I don't think anyone really gives a shit about those people not getting all their millions and billions of dollars anymore. What did I see the other day? Just like, it broke my brain. It was like one of the Kennedy guys that's in the government representing us or whatever. He was reading some shit on the floor, and like he he was saying there was like an NGO or a nonprofit that applied for a $2 billion grant. $2 billion grant. And when you make a non-for-profit organization and you file your taxes, on the IRS tax form, it asks you, what things has your not-for-profit done that are like, just name some shit you've done. It's not even a hard question. I mean, you just name some shit. And the answer was, we haven't done anything yet because we just started. And it was like, what are your assets? And then I think it was like literally $100 in the bank. We got $100 in the bank, and we started this not-for-profit. Can you give us $2 billion? And they're like, sure can. Here you go. Stacey Abrams was involved with it, so she was like the lead counsel. She was the lawyer advocate, I think, for it. I was like, wait, what? You just started a fucking organization with $100 in the bank, and you asked for $2 billion? With a fucking B, billion. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. That'll work out great. It was called something with Wire. Rewire America or Unwire America or New Wires for America. They were going to give people, they're going to help people get energy efficient with their heat pumps or something. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is happening right now? You could just start an organization and they'll just write you a check for $2 billion? That doesn't even seem like a plot to a bad movie. Sometimes I wish I was raised by scoundrels and I was more shifty and I could just steal a bunch of goddamn government money through the form of a non-governmental organization under the guise of charity. God almighty. We're not making a profit here. It's like, well, you must be doing pretty good for yourself. Well, it's not a profit. We're not making a profit. Bunch of grafters. We talk about Fort Knox. I can't remember that. What's going to happen with that whole deal? What's the over and under on Fort Knox having any gold in it at all? I'm not a gambling man, but I would say there's probably not a whole lot in Fort Knox. There's no reason, because we're not on the gold standard anymore. So why would you need to keep the gold to back the dollar up? Because we don't do that anymore. It's the full faith and credit of the United States government that's backing the dollar. See? It's easy. Then you could sell that gold and get some of them amazing fiat dollars, and you could buy yourself something real like an asset. That's not a bad gig. Good work if you can get it. Whatever. All I know is I'm keeping the spare drink fridge stocked, just so I have plenty of cold beverages to watch this shit show unfurl. Just in case the supply chain of delicious beverages gets interrupted during the shit show unfurling part of the shit show that's about to fucking unfurl. God almighty. It's just like, it's hard to believe if you were alive last century, even as a small developed human being, and you remember any of that shit. Like, what we see now is fucking wild to watch. Just all of it, just everything. No matter who you are, or what you think, it's just all this like, what the fuck is happening? The crazy part is it's all been going on. It's just the problem that's happening right now is everyone's aware of it. Like, we all get to see it. It used to just happen. You didn't know. Every once in a while, something would sneak out, you know? Every once in a while, oops! Like, Iran-Contra, oops! You know, like, I was like, ah, shit, they got us. Nothing really happened, but they caught them. You know? So much. I mean, it used to just be they just got to say what they just said what was going to be. And it was just that, right? Like, they're supposed to be releasing all this great information that's top secret information or whatever. And one of the things that I think is just like so wild is like they're like, we're gonna release the JFK files, and everyone's like, fucking JFK files? What are you talking about? Like, but like you have to remember, prepare yourself for this, and I'm not. Don't ban me, bro. The Warren Commission's report is the official stance on JFK's assassination. You have to understand that. That's the official. That's what happened. A magic bullet, whee, shot from whee, all one. Just that's there's nothing else. Everything else is a conspiracy theory. It's like you got to wrap your head around that shit for a second. Like, how did the skull part end up on the back of the fucking car? Because that's what Jackie went for. She jumped back there to pull a skull piece back because it fell off its fucking head because it got shot from the front. But the official narrative, it's official. The Warren Commission is it. They investigated. That was it. That's official. Wrap your head around that shit. And that was just declared official because the Zapruder film did not exist when the Warren Commission came out. You have to, see, like, you have to remember how it all unfolds. You stand here today and you look back, it's like, well, what the hell's that all about? But they already, like, the proclamation had already been proclaimed. This is the final. Here is the answer. Then all of a sudden, the more information comes out, and it's like, what do we do now? The answer is they just stand there and they double down on it. It's like, well, we investigate. It could be wrong. I mean, God Almighty, you can't be wrong. Definitely not doing shady shit, covering stuff up. That would never be a thing that they would do. And it's just like, yowzer. I mean, yow, hoo, ha, howzer. Whatever. Just remember that when you watch the news and they tell you the truth. Not just the regular truth, the real truth, the absolute truth. With a stamp on it. I put a stamp on the truth. Truth. Whatever. I just assume it's all lies, but that's just me. Alright, I got shit to do. Way too long. Good luck to everybody. I'll see if I can make a video on some of them Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, get real. Alright. Peace. I'm out. Believe the truth.